Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Dream Finders Homes, Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, and Bowden Eye and Associates.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. We're in the midst of the busiest week of the season so far. The Armada with a match last Saturday, U.S. Open Cup last night, and a trip to Carolina coming this Saturday as the spring season heads into its final weeks. We have the highlights, plus Mauricio Ruiz breaks down the play of a young difference maker for the Armada, and we look ahead to some intriguing matchups that could be coming for NASL teams in the U.S. Open Cup. But let's start with Saturday's match against Indy. Most of the Armada players and staff were sick of talking about it. A four-match scoreless string will do that to you. But Saturday night at Community First Park, the Armada were shooting to upset unbeaten Indy and end the drought as well.
Military Appreciation Night at Community First Park. All the branches of the military being honored and saluted by the Armada. Early stages for Jacksonville. Sebastian Evers making his first start and looking good early on. This save over the top, his first professional save. 26 minute now. Danny Barrow got the start as well, second time this year. He was very active in setting up Keita. Keita with several opportunities on the night. 30th minute now. Sean Nicklaw with a cross. It gets deflected out front, and Matt Boehner, right place, right time, left foot, and a goal. The bench loves it. Tony Miola loves it. Why wouldn't you? Matt Boehner's goal, his second of the year. And the Cincinnati native does the icky shuffle to celebrate. Take another look. First goal for the Armada in 464 minutes. It breaks the long drought. Just did get it past John Bush. Evers continues to play well until the second half. And on this play, injures himself on a goal kick, so he would be taken out. Miguel Gallardo comes in. 73rd minute now. Indy on the attack. Jair Reynoso centers it in, and Justin Braun rises, gets a head on it, and gets it high over the hands of Gallardo. It's 1-1. Late goings now. Armada trying to steal the 3 points late. Keita, beautiful bring down, but Marco Franco on the backside to stop it. The Armada and Indy 11 end a 1-1 draw.
All right, so here are the numbers from Saturday night. You see the Armada had more shots on target, and far more clearances in the course of the contest, but a 1-1 final. Matt Boehner's second goal. He now leads the Armada in goals scored. Last night, though, the Armada back on the pitch. The U.S. Open Cup at JU facing the Charleston Battery.
Section 904 doing their best to make Southern Oak Stadium feel like the home park for the Armada as they took on the USL's Charleston Battery. And early on, a couple of guys who had great success in the USL a season ago. Looking good, Brian Burke to Matt Fondy for the chance. Still 0-0 in the early stages. Another opportunity, a lot of corner kicks for the Armada. Look at Burke, but a terrific save by Odisnell Cooper to keep it at a 0-0 contest. 17th minute now. Great movement here. Fondy the back heel to Patrick Otter, who got the start in the midfield. Otter with the goal, his first in an Armada kit, and he celebrates with Section 904. The Armada take that 1-0 lead. Took just 5 minutes, though, for Charleston to counter. Romario Williams to Chris Sonis. Got it through Miguel Gallardo. 1-1 in the 22nd minute. That's the way it would stay into the second half. Romario Williams continuing to press the issue. When Charleston came on the attack, he was the guy to start it, but couldn't finish here. Keita came in as a second half replacement, subbed in and immediately started making a difference. Late in the second half, Keita with a chance, but still a 1-1 contest. We go to extra time, and another substitute, Alex Dixon, with a nice setup to Keita, and Keita does the rest. His first goal in the regular season, or since the preseason anyhow. The Armada, a 2-1 winner in the U.S. Open Cup. They get it done in extra time. The celebration is on, and Orlando City is looming in the next round.
It's so good to get that winning feeling and see all the fans down there buzzing. You know, it's definitely worth it.
Huge one, first Open Cup win in the history for the club, so we're happy to be a part of that. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. Charleston's a sound team defensively, and they're going to be tough to break down. And, unfortunately, we went to extra time, but we knew we had to keep on pushing through and get that second goal. And, we got it, and now we're on to the next round.
Yeah, what a great opportunity for our guys. It's something I talked about before the game, and really not putting the cart before the horse, just let them know this is what's next if we can get past this challenge. And I think they were excited about it.
You see the numbers for the Armada in the U.S. Open Cup, dominating possession, 17 corners to just 2. This was pretty lopsided. Shots on target, crosses, everything here very easily, as we showed you in the highlights, could have been a bigger win, but it went to extra time. Otter and Keita bookending the victory with goals for the Armada.
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
All right, welcome in the Analyst Roundtable presented by Subway. David Hayes, Andy Kidd. U.S. Open Cup last night, big win for the Armada. What do you think?
Oh, I thought it was a great result. You know, sometimes in the U.S. Open Cup, you just got to grind it out, and that's what the Armada did. In the beginning, it looked like the Armada might pull away after Otter's goal, but you know, again, in the U.S. Open Cup, anybody can win. You can see PDL teams make runs. You see USL teams make runs. So it's just great to see the Armada put a first team out there, contrary to last year, and find a way to get the W.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked at Charleston's approach to the game. It didn't look like they wanted to come out and play. I don't know if they saw something in Armada. Hey, look, let's just sit back for a little bit. Maybe we can steal a goal. But then when Otter scored, they had to open up a bit. So I was a little bit shocked because Charleston comes from a long history of going at teams. And I was a little bit surprised, but I'm glad that the Armada came through.
They're going to have to play without Matt Boehner for a while here, a couple of weeks with a concussion. What kind of impact that can have on Jacksonville?
Offensively or defensively?
Well, take your pick.
Leading scorer, right?
Yeah, leading goal scorer. I mean, everyone's got to step up. I mean, we're all professionals here. If you've made it to this stage, we all can you can play multiple positions. You should be able to. Maybe not the extreme of an outside back to an inside midfielder, but, outside mid can step in. Nicolau, Burke, Otter. There's a lot of players that can take over that role that could do just as good of a job. Yeah,
and you hope this is where the depth of the team shows that there's not a huge drop off in the level of play when one player goes down. The other thing, not just from the play but the leadership, it looked like Coach Miola was starting to lean towards Boehner as being that guy that's going to step in for Richie Ryan as far as that leadership role in the team. He's wearing the captain's armband consistently, so you're going to have. That's one area where it is going to impact the team, and you're going to have to look for somebody like a Tyler Ruthven to step up and kind of take over that role.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about the NASL's performance in the U.S. Open Cup here in just a bit, so don't go far. Thank you. Let's hear now from Tony Miola. One of the big things about playing two competitions at one time, the NASL and the U.S. Open Cup, is the stress it puts on the body. How are the Armada dealing with it? Here's Coach's Corner, presented by Asana Wellness Center, the official training facility of the Jacksonville Armada.
There's a lesser window to take care of your body, and then we've got to take a trip up to Carolina. So, and we're obviously down a few guys. Pekka, is just getting back on the field to start training this week, which is important to us. We're down Mishak and Pascal because they're away. It looks like we're going to be down Matt Boehner for a couple of weeks here. So we're really testing the depth, that's for sure.
In terms of left back, Patrick Otter's played there. Is that what you go to now?
Yeah, he'll be the logical choice for sure. We were going to insert him into the midfield, but it looks like that's kind of where Patrick's got to go now.
What do you expect from Danny Barrow here over the next couple of weeks?
To get more minutes and to get, he's still not 90-minute fit. He's about 70-minute fit, only because he hasn't played a lot of 90 minutes, and he's getting closer though. And oftentimes it's once you get past 70, you can do 90, but he ran out of gas on the weekend, and you can tell in his legs he couldn't track back, and but to be expected. And I keep going. He's still 20, doesn't have a lot of games under his belt, so this will really help him moving forward.
Breaking the scoring drought was a big weight off the shoulders of the Armada, but there is plenty more to do. Winning in the U.S. Open Cup certainly helps. Several of the team's veteran players are seeing that improvement. They know what has to happen. Now it's just a matter of executing.
These past 4 games, you maybe take out the Minnesota game, but a lot of these games could have gone either way. A lot of them you can make a case that we controlled the game and it was on a razor's edge and we just fell the other way. Just when I thought we couldn't create any more chances after coming home from Ottawa, we created even more against Indy. But then you go back to, we score 1 goal and it comes from our left back. So we gotta finish our chances.
And that's been the one consistent factor in the spring season, the need to finish chances. The chances have been there. The Armada are second in the league in shots, and maybe Matt Boehner's goal will open the floodgates. And then, who knows?
But in this league is so crazy. It's so inconsistent, if that's a word. You know, you can be at the bottom one week and then win a couple games in a row. You're in the middle of the table. You might even be on top. So, you know, we know we're in a difficult situation right now at the bottom of the table, but I believe if we close out the season strong, you know, we may finish somewhere in the middle. And then, you know, and we have a lot to look forward to.
And while the spring season is a 10-game sprint, the fall is a 22-game grind. It takes a different mentality, one that Armada players believe they possess.
Soccer is a game of seasons. A couple weeks you'll be riding the wave, and then maybe the next week or two you're looking at the bottom of the table. So we're just taking it in stride. We're not panicking. We just have to go out and do our jobs. And we believe, I'm not going to say we think, we believe we'll turn it around.
All right, here's what the Armada have coming up. Saturday on the road at Carolina to face the Railhawks. Then the following week is the final spring season matchup. June the 11th at home at Community First Park against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That is Teacher Appreciation Night. And we'll also have the U.S. Men's National Team watch party following that match. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff, by the way. Tickets are available from $11. Call 844-2-ARMADA or go online to armadafc.com. And then Wednesday, June 15th, this will be a big one, U.S. Open Cup 4th round against Orlando City. Coming up, the Cosmos take a huge step toward another spring season title. Plus, Mauricio Ruiz takes a look at Danny Barrow's influence on the Armada attack. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
To enter for your chance to participate in the Winn-Dixie Bubble Battle, visit your nearest Winn-Dixie in your Armada gear, take a selfie, and post it to any of the Armada social media using the hashtag WinnDixieBB. 2 winners will be selected every Wednesday during a home match week. Assemble a team of 3, and you're ready for battle.
We're coming down to the wire in the spring season, and the postseason spot is in reach for the defending champs. Let's go around the NASL, presented by Nike.
New York Cosmos hosting Rayo OKC. Oklahoma City played with 10 men from the 36th minute after Michel, the league's leading goal scorer, was shown a straight red card. OKC would finish the game with 8 men. Cosmos breaking through 53rd minute. Sebastian Guenzati, a header to Danny Zatella. A 1-0 Cosmos victory. They finished the spring season unbeaten at home. Miami FC looking for the first NASL win, and they get it over FC Edmonton thanks to Ariel Martinez, the Cuban national, in the 67th minute with the goal. 1-0 Miami with the win. Minnesota lost its second straight match, and they did it at home. The former Chelsea star Joe Cole, the standout for Tampa Bay, a goal and an assist as the Rowdies beat Minnesota United 2-0. Fort Lauderdale, one of the hottest teams in the league, a third straight away win as they take a 2-1 decision over Ottawa Fury. Goals from forwards Maicon Santos and Giuseppe Gentile helped the Strikers extend their unbeaten streak to 4 games.
All right, taking a look at the NASL standings as of the moment, New York Cosmos just 1 victory away from wrapping up the NASL spring season and a postseason spot. Indy 11, through 8 matches, still unbeaten. They do have a chance to catch the Cosmos because they have a game in hand on New York. Carolina, once at the top, now 5th as the Armada gets set to go to Raleigh this weekend. Bottom of the table, Strikers certainly in a good position, but the rest of these teams, including the Armada, really just need to accrue some points. The fall season is a long haul, 22 matches, so getting every point in the spring as possible will certainly potentially pay dividends in the fall season. Now let's head to the Armada Boot Room presented by M-Tech. All right, here in the Armada Boot Room now, and Mauricio, you're going to take a look at a young player, Danny Barrow, who's really making a difference. Looks like he's really growing up right before our eyes.
Yeah, and then he's bringing something to the team, a little bit different than some of the other wingers. Now, he's left-footed, he's nice and tricky, he's playing on the right-hand side. And what we're going to see here is really the pockets that he's finding himself in, and now he's utilizing a little 1-2 combination with Junior Sandoval and Keita. So the first clip that we have, it's a good ball over the top. He's picking up the second balls. But look at where he's picking up the balls at, Cole. He's finding himself in some good pockets, which is forcing the left center, the left back, and the left center back really have to make a decision whether to go to him or they stay with Keita. So what he's done really well, find himself in pockets. Now he's driving at players, and we'll freeze here. And now once again, he's offsides on this play. But if you look at the left center back, once again, and you look at the left back, they're having to make a decision whether they stay with the forward or they go with him, which in this case they go with him, allows Keita to run through. This builds on towards the game and the chance that he has. So as we move forward, now the difference is now he's not just finding himself in the pocket. It's a different way that he's being very effective in the game, making great penetrating runs. Keita here finds himself checking to the ball that Junior Sandoval has, and Danny Barrow does a fantastic job of running behind Keita, finding the ball over the top. A little 1-2, great opportunity for Keita, and John Bush, one of the times he came out really big in the game, right? So now that we go to the big weighted moment, the goal of the game, and really the play of the week in the NSL that Matt Boehner just got selected. And once again, look at the pocket that Danny Barrow finds himself in. We're going to let this clip go a little bit because there's the combinations that he's finding. A little Junior Sandoval there, combination, and here's what I want to show you. Because of Danny Barrow doing such a good job, look at Sean Nicolau. You're going to see here in a second why he's so important. We find a little 1-2. Armada did a much better job of combining the middle. Ball out there to Sean Nicolau. Because Danny Barrow tucked in, ball comes out, and Captain America, left-footed, strikes it. No chance for John Bush. Did a fantastic job of trying to get all of it. 1-0 Armada. Really, Danny Barrow had influence in that goal as well.
Yeah, you can really see it when you take a look at the kind of attention he's garnering from the defense.
He really does.
Mauricio, thanks so much. And straight ahead, David Hayes and Andy Kidd will join us on the Analyst Roundtable. We discuss the Armada's next step, plus can the U.S. win Copa America? Stick around. More Armada Kickoff right after this. Here is the rest of the NASL. Action in the Open Cup. The league did very well. 7 of the 9 teams advancing. Only the 2 expansion teams, Rio OKC and Miami FC, losing. For the rest of these squads, they're moving on to face, in the most part, NASL teams against MLS teams in the 4th round. All right, welcome back in. The Analyst Roundtable presented by Subway. David Hayes, Andy Kidd. All right, let's talk about the NASL's overall performance in the U.S. Open Cup. 7 teams out of the 9 domestic teams moving on to the 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, I think, since, I started in the league in '98, so I have a little bit of history in the Open Cup, and what they used to do is they used to play subs, and now they're not. Now everyone, because on any given day, soccer, anyone could win. But, now teams like the MLS are playing their starters, the NASL are playing their starters, and so it's just showing that the separation of how good soccer has come, that, now we're understanding how big this tournament is, and everyone's taking it to the extreme, and they want to win it. So they're not just taking it as lightly as they used to.
Andy, last year 7 NASL teams lost their first games. This year they win.
Yeah, and I think a lot of lessons learned last year. The Armada certainly no stranger to those lessons in playing Richmond last year, and Richmond coming out and really taking it to them. And I think you saw with the lineup that Coach Miola put out there that they care about this tournament. This tournament means something. It's a great way for a team like the Armada, who may be having a tough time in the spring season. They have something to focus on that they can go and bring home some hardware. So it's an exciting opportunity, a great way to build some momentum for your franchise.
And Tony, I think, has learned from Bruce Arena quite a bit, about saying, hey, this is a big tournament, and you see that's why Arena's always there.
Yeah, and Tony, of course, playing for Lamar Hunt's team in Kansas City with the Lamar Hunt Open Cup. It certainly means a lot to him. U.S. begins playing Copa America tomorrow. Andy, what kind of a chance do you expect the U.S. will have here?
Wow, that's a tough question. I think the U.S. could get out of their group. I think the level of talent and teams that are going to be in this tournament is pretty high level, and I think the U.S. is still trying to figure out their identity. Is there a youth movement, or are they sticking with their guns with the veterans that have been around for a while? And it hasn't really been consistent. So I think it'd be hard for the U.S. to really make a deep run, though I hate to say that because I'm going to be pulling like heck for them. But I think just the talent, the teams that are going to be there, it's going to be tough to make a deep run.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you look at Colombia, you look at Paraguay, Costa Rica, all these teams. I mean, they're solid teams. So I'm almost to say that we might not make it out of the group.
The group's tough.
Yeah, the group's tough, but I do think we'll get out. But when you start dealing with Brazil and Argentina, I think we're going to struggle there.
David Hayes, Andy Kidd, thanks so much.
Coming up, a closer look at Saturday's opponent, the Carolina Railhawks. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
Saturday, the Armada are away at the Carolina Railhawks. The Railhawks got off to a hot start this year, led by Austin DeLuz and the playmaking of Nazmi Al-Badawi. At the midway point of the spring season, Carolina stood atop the table after winning their first 4 matches. But they haven't won since and now sit in 5th entering the weekend. Last year, the Armada lost in their only trip to Wake Med Park in North Carolina, 3-0.
All right, here's the next home match for the Armada after they play Carolina back home to take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies June the 11th at Community First Park. That is a 4 o'clock kickoff on Teacher Appreciation Day presented by PDQ. There is a pre-match street party. After that contest, you'll have a chance to join us on the watch party and watch the U.S. men's national team in the Copa America. Remember, you can get the very latest on the Armada online at armadafc.com and on radio. Sports Radio 930 is where you find us. Monday nights at 6, it's the Armada Coaches Show featuring Tony Miola. And Wednesdays at 6, Mauricio Ruiz joins me for the Armada Soccer Show. Our coverage of the Armada and Carolina Railhawks begins Saturday, 7 o'clock right here on CW17, kickoff at 7:30. And remember, it's June 15th for the Armada against Orlando City in the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Cole Pepper. We'll see you next time.